Hi, I'm Peter Follansbee, and I'm back here at Lie-Nielsen again, this time back to furniture projects. And the task at hand is to make some 17th century style carved boxes. I have a bunch of them we can look at here. These are a form that I make over and over again in 25 years. I can't tell you how many of these I've made. Every now and then I'll be somewhere and see a box that I made and I'll have completely forgotten about it. And they're a lot of fun to do, not a great deal of stock involved in them. Typically, they are a small rectangular box with a flat lid. The box itself is made from oak, and I most usually make the bottoms and the lids from white pine. And as you can imagine, they feature carved decoration, in this case, painted decoration as well. This one is a pretty small by 17th century standards box, and a rather basic one. There's no, oh, that's where those spoons are. I keep all kinds of stuff in these boxes. Often they will have a till inside them. We'll look at those on some other boxes. I want to show you the hinge on this one. It's this blacksmith-made iron hinge. We used these when we did the wainscot chest here. Just a pair of iron rings linked together with their tails then spread on the top of the lid and the inside of the box to form that very simple hinge. The box itself is pinned together with wooden pegs. The bottom of the box is nailed in place with iron nails made by a blacksmith. For the stock preparation, a lot of the steps are the same, whether you're working stock that's going to be an inch thick, 3/8 of an inch thick, and even thinner. You work the face of it and the edge of it, and then use those as your reference planes and dimension your stock from there. So here I'll position the froe right in the center of the thickness of this piece. And when you are striking it with your wooden club, you want to make sure you keep the froe blade in contact across the whole end grain of that log. When you rear back with your club, there's a tendency to tilt up with the froe, and you want to make sure you keep it down, because you want to strike that right where it needs to be, because the minute you hit it, that's where you're splitting it. So if that first strike is off the mark, you're cooked. And you knock it just till it buries into the wood, and then the club you put down. And you can see that split begun down the spine here. I'm running right down the middle. And lever that apart like that. And now I have two thinner boards that I can begin to dress for my box parts. In previous videos, I've gone over a number of carved patterns. This one is one that we haven't covered before, so I'll show you how I lay this out and cut it. I've marked out margins on my box side here and struck a horizontal and vertical center line. And we'll provide a drawing that maps out the format of this particular design that you can print from the disc. So I set my compass on the crossings of those two center lines and strike a full circle around this piece, and then close it down and work on laying out the outline of this piece. This is the full one of these circles is called a rosette. The ones on the front of the box that are half round are lunettes. And these are terms we apply to these things. We don't know what the 17th century joiners termed this stuff at all. So I've struck the arcs and the circles here. I have those two center lines. The only other layout on the rosette is two diagonal lines running right through there that orient the tips of those tulip shapes. I've gone ahead and pinned that top in place now and need to insert these little drawer dividers. So I found the dimension, the height of the drawer dividers fitting between those notches. And I've had these in and out a couple of times. So I've struck a Roman numeral on the back edges of them. So hopefully I'll be able to get the one in this spot that goes there. And they just slide in, press them in, and they'll stay put. And another one there. And those now get us to the point where we can figure out the drawers that fit in here. And I had mentioned earlier the original that I studied was missing its 4 drawers. It just had the compartments there. And I took this particular drawer construction from a series of cabinets that I studied that were made in northern Massachusetts in the 1680s. And these are a little disappointing to a lot of woodworkers. Folks see drawers and they're ready to cut dovetails. And this is the case where your half-blind dovetails don't apply. These are very thin, almost slats of oak that are just cut to fit and nailed together with wire brads. And for the drawer pulls, I have brass curtain rings fastened into the drawer front and installed with just sort of a wire loop that's clinched on the inside of the drawer front. As ratty looking as these things are, they are the devil to assemble.